Me again. So that's me back from dinner, and no real change in the situation. So what I have done, because I noticed that on the left bank it was just hovering below the balance start voltage of 3.45 volts and not going any higher. But the cells were starting to deviate, so I've put the start voltage for the balance down at 3.4 volts, and I've also reduced the float voltage on the inverter down to 54 volts. So I'll see how that goes. I've reduced the float voltage and the bulk voltage because I want to try and give cell number 9 a little bit of time. So there it goes. Well, would you look at that? This is the left bank, and since turning the float voltage down to 54 volts, the balancing is now stopping. It's just below the 3.4 volts, so that could be an inconvenience. Might need to tweak that balance voltage down further. Have the balancing running all the time just for this very first one. So it's still a ways to wait for this one to get below the threshold. So I have a theory, and it goes a little something like this. I need to equalize and balance the left bank and the right bank before I worry about the cell balance, because cell number 9 is peaking on the rev limiter and then tickling down to the recovery voltage. The left bank, which is the good bank, is then spoon feeding in a load of amps regardless of float voltages and things like that, dumping it all. The cell 9 peaks and then it quits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the float voltage so that there's less overall power going into the system, and it gives more of an opportunity for the left bank to equalize with the right bank. So nearly at the recovery voltage limit of 3.45 on cell number 9. So I need to work on reducing this inrush current from side to side before I worry about anything else. And I think I can only do that by adjusting the float and the bulk voltages out of the inverter. Come on, one more. There we go. So there was no mad inrush current that time. There was only 1 amp went in. So hopefully that will slow the show down and give cell number 9 the chance to bleed off some of its extra power into the other cells. Certainly hasn't spiked just yet. It would have run away and spiked by now. So I think I'll just keep tweaking the float voltage and bulk voltage up slowly. See, this side has stopped balancing and doing anything. Still a little bit of power leaving and going next door. So the question is do I turn the balance start voltage down to 3.3 volts and let her wobble? That might be a good idea. Might be a bad idea. Might be no idea at all. Because at the moment we're not going to charge because we're at float voltage, so these aren't going to balance any further. So verify. And no, wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Start balance. 3.3. Okay. Start balance 3.3. One, two, three, four, five, six. Verify. Start balance 3.3. So, sorry Andy from the off-grid garage, mate. Love you really. It's only temporary. It'll get tweaked back up again. We'll see how it goes. So this is the left bank now busying away balancing, and that's the right bank, and it's still under control and it's not run away yet. 94 millivolts. So I'll let that sit and I'll have a look before bedtime and go from there.